Ahead on DC News Now at 4.
The man accused of gunning down 2 Israeli embassy employees now facing federal hate crime charges. The latest on this 9-count indictment.
We got to enjoy another day in the 80s. We'll let you know if we can keep this trend of comfortable temperatures going through the end of the week.
A new photo of a person of interest in the attack of a former DOJ worker over the weekend. Why that could signal the National Guard in the district.
Buying a used car can be great for your wallet, but comes with some risk. We're stretching your dollar with things you should know before buying used.
And park rangers in Maryland honored for saving a life at Greenbrier State Park.
It takes critical thinking skills and the ability to act and react in the moment.
A look at the awards presentation.
Watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And developing now, the White House confirming that people around the district should expect to see an increase in federal law enforcement starting as early as tomorrow. Thank you for watching DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall.
And I'm Tosin Fakile. The presence of more law enforcement continues as President Trump threatens to take over the district after a recent attack on a former DOJ employee.
DC police releasing a new photo of a person of interest in that attack in an attempted carjacking earlier this week in Northwest. We're told 2 15-year-olds from Hyattsville arrested and charged, but police are offering a $10,000 reward for additional information.
The president posting this photo of the victim on social media. It shows 19-year-old Edward Korstein sitting on the ground on Swan Street in Northwest D.C. According to the police report, officers on patrol saw the 19-year-old being attacked and intervened. That attack drawing the attention of the president, reigniting his continued threat of taking over D.C.
DC News Now's Max Marcilla. He is live from the DC Armory in Southeast on the president's comments about taking over the district. Max, what are you learning?
Well, Mark and Tosin, we're hearing from a senior White House official who says exactly what you guys just mentioned, that people living in D.C. should expect to see some sort of federal enforcement presence as early as tomorrow. Now, that is the latest in this series of threats that started from President Trump, as you referenced, coming after the attack of that former DOJ member. But what is still unclear is exactly what that means, what this deployment of federal resources mean. We don't know which agencies would be involved, or if it could involve deputizing the National Guard, which the president has threatened again for the last day or two. We also don't know what tactics they will be taking explicitly with the goal of keeping the district safe. We have, however, heard from newly appointed U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro.
Both the Trump administration as well as the Metropolitan Police Department are looking to increase law enforcement efforts because of the violence we're seeing across this country, across this city.
Now, we have yet to confirm those details with DC Police, so it's unclear if that is in fact true, if DC Police will be ramping up their enforcement in the city that they patrol every day. Now, it is worth noting from DC Police stats, violent crime is down in the district, down 26% from this time last year. Of course, last year was also a big decrease from a historically violent 2023. So that is the backdrop and the context under which these threats have emerged from the White House, of course, now leading to some sort of federal enforcement that, again, that senior White House official telling us could happen as early as tomorrow. Reporting live in Southeast, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
Max, we'll have to wait and see how things go. Thank you so much for that report. And we have new development now in the case against the man accused of gunning down 2 Israeli embassy employees back in May. The case now being charged as a hate crime.
Yeah, that shooting happened outside of the Jewish Capitol Museum following an event hosted by the American Jewish Committee.
DC News Now's Marielle Carbone live outside U.S. Attorney's office with more. Marielle, you were there when Jeanine Pirro spoke. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Tosin, we now know that Elias Rodriguez is now facing 9 federal charges, all of them laid out in this new indictment from a grand jury. Now, 2 of those hate crimes resulting in death, and that is because officials say of Rodriguez's bias towards the people of Israel.
Free Palestine!
Remarks like this made by 31-year-old Elias Rodriguez after allegedly gunning down 2 Israeli embassy staffers are why he's now facing 2 federal hate crime charges.
That the subject acted alone with the intent to commit a violent act.
Rodriguez is accused of shooting and killing Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram after an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum on May 21st. According to U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro, Rodriguez boarded a plane from Chicago to D.C. on May 20th. While on the plane, he wrote a manifesto called an explication on his iPhone.
His explication made clear his purpose in committing these crimes was to demonstrate his hatred for the people of Israel.
He also made a social media post stating, "Please, please, please, God, please vaporize every Israeli."
I fight hate crimes with a vengeance. Justice will be swift and it will be certain.
This is about as clear-cut a case, a hate-motivated crime, as you can get.
Gila Franklin Siegel is the COO of the Jewish Community Relations Council of Greater Washington. She says the decision to charge this as a hate crime is validating as anti-Semitic crime rises in the U.S.
This particular terrorist attack created so much fear and pain, knowing that they are going to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law is really an important thing for our local Jewish community.
Now, as far as if this is a death penalty case or not, Pirro says that is currently being considered. There's a process that needs to happen where they will review the charges, the evidence, and then make a decision. Ultimately, the Attorney General makes the decision and recommendation to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Reporting live downtown, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
All right, Marielle, thank you.
Let's get a first check of our forecast with meteorologist Damon Manson. Damon, another fall-esque day on a summer August day. What is going on?
I know, it's just so odd that we are almost going for a perfect week here as far as how comfortable it's been. It's a mixture of things, keeping our temperatures in a very decent range for August. One of those factors that has continued to be with us for the most part, but not as much as Tuesday and Wednesday, cloud cover, and we do still have a decent amount of that. It's been streaming in under an easterly wind throughout the day, but we certainly have had some breaks of sunshine. That was mainly across parts of north central Maryland into northern Virginia. You're still finding a little bit of sun as you head out toward the I-81 corridor. Now, it's not just the clouds. We have also had some of that wildfire smoke and haze mixed on in. It's been filtering that sunshine enough to where our temperatures are fairly comfortable. And then on top of that, well, we do have a little bit of rainfall trying to work in, a couple of stray showers moving along with that cloud cover from the east. So if you are east of D.C. across parts of Prince George's County down into southern Maryland, don't be surprised if you feel a couple of raindrops out there. But the rest of us remain dry, and that cloud cover and haze that has kept our temps in the lower to middle 80s, well, it'll start to break up just in time for the overnight hours, which means we'll cool down heading into Thursday night. Now, as we head on toward the end of the week, will it still stay comfortable? Well, we'll full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Breaking in Pennsylvania, 2 state troopers were shot in the northeastern part of the state. In an update this afternoon, police say officers were dispatched for a welfare check. When they arrived, officials say they were ambushed and shot at. Investigators say the initial call was for a 59-year-old woman with a gunshot wound. They say one of the officers shot applied life-saving measures to the other officer that was shot. Police say a third trooper was able to get both officers away. The shooter, we're told, is dead. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro went to the scene and is at the hospital where the officers were taken. We're told both officers shot are in stable condition.
In Prince George's County, police shows an alleged murderous suspect taken off on a bike. They say that suspect shot and killed 33-year-old William Askew on July 25th along Laurel Bowie Road. Police are asking for the public's help to identify the person on the bike, offering a reward of up to $25,000 for information.
An appointee to the U.S. Department of Commerce due in court in Arlington this month. She's accused of sexually assaulting a subordinate at her Pentagon City apartment. This is a reporting according to FFXNow.com.
Yeah, Jessica Cavazos was the agency's deputy undersecretary for minority business development. According to court records, she said that the victim could stay at her apartment for a work conference in November 2023.
And after that conference, the two went back to Cavazos' apartment. Cavazos is accused of performing multiple unwanted unwanted sex acts on the other woman as the two shared an inflatable mattress at her sparsely furnished residence. Documents also say the victim went to the hospital and was found to have bruising associated with being strangled.
Cavazos submitted a letter of resignation to the agency roughly 2 weeks after the alleged incident. She is scheduled to appear in Arlington's General District Court on August 18th for a preliminary hearing. Well, Prince George's County Executive Aisha Brayboy doubling down on her beautification plan. She announced a new initiative called Strike Force 311. It will tackle the backlog of PGC 311 requests. It will focus on abandoned cars, overgrown lots, and other public nuisances. Brayboy says that the initiative is here to help the community.
This is not just about beautification. This is about elevation. Elevating these complaints to individuals who are assigned and are responsible to being responsive quickly to the residents here in Prince George's County. We are saying to county residents, you matter. Your block matters. Your neighborhoods matter. Your voice matters.
Brayboy says the strike force is under her Project Elevate umbrella.
In Silver Spring, a ribbon cutting ceremony for a new pedestrian bridge in Kemp Mill neighborhood. The bridge helps people cross the wooded area between Off Lane and Kersey Road. It helps them do that in a safer way. Montgomery County Executive Mark Elridge says it was important to complete this project.
It's just a really great example of what we're able to do. I got to personally witness what people endured to try to get across this, so I got the importance of making this thing actually happen. This path is important to the residents on both sides of this creek. It connects this community in a way that it wasn't connected before. So I'm glad that, we pulled this thing off.
Montgomery County Department of Transportation worked with Kemp Mill Service Association to create this project.
Well, in the WNBA, the Washington Mystics making a trade ahead of the league's deadline, with this afternoon sending forward Aaliyah Edwards to Connecticut in exchange for guard J.C. Sheldon and the rights to swap first-round picks. Now, Edwards was the Mystics' top draft pick in 2024. Sheldon was selected in that same draft 2 picks ahead of her. This week, the Mystics also traded away their leading scorer, Brittany Sykes.